Hello, hello, good evening. Y'all make some noise in this house.
Woo!
Don't you wish you was here? This is our 2B1 2022, and we are going in tonight. Is an opportunity for us to gather together with singles, with couples, and talk about relationships. As someone has said, have a conversation. And so we're excited tonight and hope that you are ready for what's going to happen. I see Yamika Matthews coming in. I see Kevin Matthews. I see quite a few of you. I see Maria Alexandria. She is with her son. Another school came in and wanted to talk to her son. He's getting trained on what to do when the scouts come in for college, and then what the scouts are going to do when they come in for the NBA. Y'all ain't go with that prophecy. Y'all slow. Okay, I see you, Solomon. He's at work. CC Cartwright. I see Michelle Jones. I see Cara Dulu, Rita Holloway. I see many people coming in. I want you to like, share, and tag someone and let them know that we're on tonight. I want you to like, share, and tag someone. Let them know that we're on tonight just for a little while. We're not going to be on long. We're gathering together again for 2B1, and we are in, one more time. Y'all, they don't believe it. One more time. Let them know y'all are in the house. So I want you to like, love, share, tag, and I want you to comment as long as we're on. I see Deja Young, I see Deja Jones, I see Tawanda Carr, I see Carlos, Elkara Dulu, I see Keith Young. There are people here, and so I want you to go ahead and come in and get yourself ready. Hey, Naomi Joseph, you say good evening, blessed couple. We have a short lesson. Good evening to Lester Blunt Jr. They are with their son at one of his baseball games tonight, and it is their 24th year anniversary. 24th year, and so we're going to make sure that we continue to pray for them. There goes your sister right there, Prashant Barnes. Hey, there goes sister right there, Renita Holloway, CC. So listen, we have a lesson tonight, and the lesson is kind of all over the place, but it's a really good lesson. It's really kind of what I'm going to do. Hello, Nicole Albert. I'm going to kind of interview First Lady for y'all. And tonight we're talking about how you deal with things and how to be able to handle things, being real about it all. Does not mean we're going to tell all our business. I did that Sunday. Not doing that again. But tonight we want to talk about how to deal with. Hello, Crystal Burton. I see Lashika Stevenson. I see Joanne Johnson. I see Denny Henn. Man, they're coming in. That's good. Very good. Listen, so tonight I want to just gather in this situation. We've already had prayer. And I want to gather us together to see right where we are in relationships. There are some things that God is going to do with us based on our relationships.
All right.
There's some things that God, let me be nice. There's some things God want to do for you, but he may not be able to do it for you because you're with the person he can't do it for.
Wow.
And God can't keep blessing people who are dishonoring him, and he can't keep blessing you, and you keep blessing them. And so they never turn to him. They always turn to you. So tonight, somebody asked a question a long time ago. And, you know, my theme is that you must evaluate, right? After you evaluate, you must execute. After that, you can excel. So the question I want to ask tonight, we're going to do this for a few minutes just for you. How do we properly evaluate ourselves in relationships? How do we properly evaluate ourselves in relationships?
I believe that to properly evaluate, well, first let me say hello to everyone and all of you that are watching. We so happy
this
to
is
see
my
all
wife
of
of
you.
20 this year.
7
years.
Yes. 27
That's over
years.
half my life I've devoted to making you happy.
Oh, you so sweet. You so sweet.
Thank you, honey.
But I did want to say hello to everybody and thank all of you all for joining us live on YouTube, Facebook, and those that are here. But to properly evaluate yourself, I think you have to be honest with yourself. That's the one thing I would say.
How would you do that?
Tell yourself the truth. To be honest. When you staring in the mirror, be honest with the person that's looking back at you. That's the thing. I think we tend to tell untruths. Can I say it like that? To ourselves, we just don't be honest. We don't be honest about what it is we really see when we look back at ourselves. And that causes us, when we step out into relationships, the person end up getting a a replica of who you are and not the real you. And so by the time you get tired of playing or walking in that that light of that individual who is not really you, then they don't understand this person because this is not who you've given me all this time. So
Well, that's funny you say that because when, okay, let me tell the truth. Can I tell the truth? Okay. When I got married, I used to play with my wife all the time because she was kind of tomboyish. Still is, but I used to slap her. I used to play with her. I said, girl, stop playing with me. And she would do this. See? And then one day, I did that, and she said, did you hit me in my face? And I said, I was just playing. She said, don't do that. I said, okay, Jesus. Then later, everything I say, I'm a talker. I'm a communicator. I am a different kind of man. I stuttered all my life in school, so once God gave me peace of mind and communication, I haven't stopped yet. I love to communicate. So when I married my wife, she talked all the time. All the time, all the time. About 4 or 5 years ago, she says, I'm really not a communicator. And I said to her, Sydney, if I'd known that, I might have not married you. Because I'm a communicator. I can't live with somebody who don't talk to me because I don't know what you're thinking. I don't want to prophesy and I don't want to know. So she said, that's just me. I said, why did you talk all this time? I just answered you. And I went, you been front for 20 years? Now she got my pension, my unemployment, my Social Security. Now she tell me, I'm not who you thought I was. And so you have to be honest with yourself. That's major. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
He said he wasn't telling our business.
I didn't. I just told on you.
But
That's on you.
but I think because when you get married young, you're still trying to find out who you really are. And that's why it behooves you when you're trying to get married, you need to know exactly who you are. Because you end up, because you're going to change throughout your marriage, you're going to go through many changes of life within itself. I tell people you need to look for that every 5 years, something different is going to happen.
How many every?
Every 5. You
5
turn
years.
25 and you married, you are not the same person at 30. At 30, you coming into a new person. By the time you hit 35, you wondering what's going on.
When you start trying to figure out what I'm going to do for 40.
Exactly. And then you turn 40, you lose it. Let me just tell you. You start thinking life is about to turn me over. What am I missing? Did I forget something? Did I lose something? What am I doing? Why and how am I still married? And did I do it so young? Everything goes to your head. But then you start pulling it together by the time you turn 45, and then you start selling yourself by the time. So every 5 years you have to look for that life change anyway. So you need to know exactly who you are and what it is that you desire and want out of life so that you can come together with someone that's going to help cultivate that. Most of the time we don't do that.
Very good. So that's the first thing you should do. Be honest with yourself.
Yes.
Tell somebody, say be honest.
Be honest.
With yourself.
Be honest.
Now be real straight up. Point across the room, tell them you need to be honest with yourself. Yeah, you point. Don't point at me. Point your finger. That's rude. That's right. So number one, be honest with yourself. That's number one. Be honest with yourself. Can we go further on that one? When you're going to be honest with yourself, be honest with the person that you're talking to.
Yes.
Y'all quiet? Don't set no trap because you're lonely. And you're not honest because you want to see if you can change the person.
Please don't think that.
Let you talk. They ain't talking to me, and I don't
Please
want to go
don't.
off.
Please don't think that you can get with a person. I don't want to say just married. Don't think that you could have a friendship and think that you can change the person. That is not
what your friendship is
not
for.
what your friendship is for. If that is a person that is your friend, that's just who your friend is.
If they don't talk and you want somebody that talk, guess what you do? Get you another friend.
Or that's just not your friend to talk. They might be cool, but that's just not your friend to talk.
Get a one that talk.
Yeah. And it's okay. Be okay with just that's not it, but don't, by all
How Rich
means.
said, be okay. No, it was Evangelist Ryan. Be okay with walking away.
You got to be.
After that first date,
Yes.
it didn't work. Don't say, well, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. Not with your whole life.
I mean, you at a point where you'll be wasting time, and you can't get time back. So the better thing to do, if you see that it's not going into that direction, I mean, the one thing, be okay with saying, you know what, it's cool. You know what, you were a good date. I enjoyed myself. I appreciate you. It's nothing wrong with you, and it's nothing wrong with me. We just can't fit, and I'm okay with walking away.
That's it.
Because I'm of the faith that believes if I walk away from this situation, that means that God has something else greater for me that I just can't see right now. I'm still in preparation, and I'm okay with that.
I got to be patient, though.
Yeah.
I can't put myself on a time clock when God has not.
Yeah.
Because if our clocks don't match, I will make a time happen when God is not working.
Yeah.
That's number one. Be honest with yourself.
And that time can hurt you.
What you mean? Explain that.
Time
Wait a minute. See, you messed up. I was quiet.
You put yourself in a time where you say, I want to be married by the time I'm 35. I don't want to be single. I want to be married by the time I'm this, or I want to be with somebody or in a relationship. And God has not set that time frame. You will mess your entire life up, because what you will get at that 35 time frame, because that's the time you set for yourself, you may not be ready for what comes along in that time frame. So you get married, you did it. But by 35, that was your goal. You hit it. All of a sudden, your life is in a whirlwind because of what you said. You put a time clock on you. You didn't wait on God. You didn't ask God if this is where I'm supposed to be or what I'm supposed to be doing. So then when you look up now, you end up taking care of someone who's supposed to be taking care of you.
But then what happens?
You didn't wait.
What happens if you're with someone when the person you would have chosen comes?
Shame on you.
Okay, just want to make sure. No trade-ins. Number two. Here's the problem that that's good, thank you. Here's the problem that we normally have. And here's the issue in relationships and marriages.
Right.
You must accurately define your definition of what love is. Y'all writing or y'all just quiet?
Yeah.
You can't say, that's good. You ain't got to even say amen. Just say, that's right. That's right, that's right. You must accurately define what your definition of love is, because everyone's definition is different. We found out with Apostle last week, and we had a real good relationship session. We found out that there's no such thing. Compatibility is not in the Bible. These braces are chewing me up. Compatibility is not in the Bible. I feel like you, Trish. Compatibility is not in the Bible. So, what makes a person think they can't be together is when a person decides not to compromise, or they're not mature enough to change for the better. It's not about compatibility. We're not compatible. It's not no such thing.
Right.
Everyone is different. It's what you do to make your difference match and to make it work. One person needs to be the hand, and one person needs to be the glove. But you must decide what your definition of love is. That's the only way you're going to move forward, is to know the difference in a person's definition. Because the definition also determines what the language is. Also what the language is. Because once you learn their definition, it kind of gives you insight to their language, their love language. And you can't change somebody's love language.
Right.
Can you?
No, I would just say stop trying to change people, period.
Well, that's pretty good. Stop trying to change people, period. Now, I didn't change my wife's love language, but I learned how to adjust it. Tammy Nicholas being real messy, I heard her say, Oh, that was Carla's? Okay. It came from that corner. I learned how to adjust it because my wife is a giver like I am. So our arguments in the first 3 or 4 years of our marriage was me wanting to give her things and her saying, well, I want to get it for you. And so now we're arguing and fussing because I want to give to her because it's my love language. And her love language was giving. But watch this. Y'all ready? My love language, my natural language is giving. her love language of giving was also because she was surrounded by takers. So hers was developed. Mine was natural. Man, y'all quiet. That was really good for me. I was like saying to myself, hey, man. Hers was developed. Hers was developed. Mine was natural. So in mine being natural, I needed her to receive in order for mine to be, for me to have the level of accomplishment in my heart, not in my mind, that I did what I like to do. Hers was to give to see, or give because it was naturally that she gave and people stayed. And I'm like, you don't have to give. I'm here. So I need you to receive and cancel that giving thing because it had the wrong motive behind it. And then later she found out that she can be a receiver, and now that's all she want to do, you see? So I had to turn up my notch, Yumika, on the being a giver. Yeah, so you
I
have.
am still a giver.
You really are. You really are. You really are. But you get in your moods. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Use your
Because
mic. Don't
as
use the mic.
givers, no, as givers, we tend to not want to receive. When you are a giver, it is difficult to receive for someone to do for you what you love to do. And then you always have to check the motive on why they're trying to do it, because sometimes it ain't always
But
the
why
pure
would you
motive.
check your motive? You be
Not
26
with you.
years, 27
I ain't
years.
talking about with you.
Oh,
I
okay.
receive everything he does. Everything.
She's saying that because she went shopping yesterday.
Yes, indeed.
I know what she said.
I receive
And the woman said,
everything.
we'll see y'all again. I said, no time soon.
I told her we'll be back.
No, we
Yes,
won't.
We will. So,
She said, all this will be on sale next month.
I think
I said, we're not coming for 3 months. No, it'll be on sale next month. I don't care. But I thought you were a giver. I am. That's why I'm able to give, because I don't care if it's on sale. And so, but
yeah.
my problem with giving, and I think I sent some of y'all the prophecy today. Prophets look for problems. So I'm not just a giver to make you feel good. I'm a giver to grow you. I got a post in my phone. I can't tell you what it says. I'll tell y'all, but I can't read it. It says, beware or get away from people who don't allow you to be free in giving. Because if you don't, they're going to ruin you, because you'll give and they won't be appreciative. And then you end up not giving to people who need it because of people who take it for granted. And so you have to define what love is to the person so you all can move in the proper way.
Yes.
Anything else on that definition of love?
You just need to know it.
Ooh.
You just need to know it. That's the main
What
thing.
about people who are going through because they love somebody who didn't love them back?
Oh, my Lord.
I mean, their definition of love is being mistreated.
No, you got to change that. You got to redefine what love really is.
Okay.
And I think when we start learn how to, when a person did not love us the way we need to be loved,
You gotta speak up. Don't get.
I'm trying to
Trying
say
to be
it.
nice.
Yes.
Don't be
when
nice.
A person.
Come on with me. Don't go with me. I feel you. We won.
I
Don't be
think-
nice. I've been waiting to see this
I
you
think-
to be
no.
one. Come on. Come on.
I think we need to
Come up. Come out.
take a step back. And
That sounds
No,
good.
no,
But you know,
listen,
we don't like
listen.
to go back.
That's the point. But if we
We think going
Shoot.
back means failure.
right and reevaluate, going back does not mean I'm stuck. I'm staying back
Say
there.
it
I'm
again.
reevaluating.
Say it again. Going back is reevaluating. It does not
What
mean
I-
I'm stuck.
Right.
Okay.
It doesn't mean I'm stuck. I'm reevaluating what my definition of love was.
Y'all like, share, and tag this post right now.
That's the one thing. When I step back, I'm redefining or relooking at what I thought my definition of love was. I'm only doing
I
that.
thought the Wi-Fi was buffering.
No. I'm only
You said
doing
only.
that to cultivate or build on the love that God wants me to define. That's if I'm saying it, if I'm making it make sense, because we tend to have one definition of love at an early age, because you know it's the white picket fence and we supposed to have the goosebumps, and if he don't give me those goosebumps, I just don't know if that's really the love that I'm looking for. That is not defining of love. That's just a feeling that somebody gives you, and if you wait just a little while longer, someone else can give you that same feeling. So it's really not love. I'm just being, it's really not.
She's back.
I'm serious. I just want us to get out of that fairy tale mentality and get into the faith of
Mature
God
love.
and know that love conquers, love goes through, love perseveres, love ride or die, or live. Love suffereth long. Love go through the trenches. This is what I
Preach,
mean
girl.
when I'm saying about love. If you don't have that type of love, you need to go back and reevaluate what you thought love was, so it can push you. For love just don't pay bills. Let me help somebody.
Whoa.
Love, love
Whoa,
just
whoa, whoa.
don't pay bills.
Y'all gotta
you know what
speak
I'm
up.
saying?
When I said it Sunday, y'all was all hollering.
Yeah.
Now she's saying they like, well,
love just don't pay bills. It doesn't. Love don't. Love.
Some of y'all should be making that text say love don't
Man,
live
listen. I
keep
need us to
calling
get out of
it.
that mindset that we waiting. I want you to be in a place where you love, and this is for female and men,
Teach us,
females
teach us.
and males, that you learn how to
Naya.
love who you are and be okay with you, and then that will help you connect with someone who's okay with themselves. I don't walk into a relationship helpless, as if I don't have no hope, that I'm struggling, and if I can't, I'm waiting on him to come, because baby, when I get him, I can relax and don't have to pay no bills. No, I'm gonna pay my own bills. What else can you do for me? I need you to be able to carry me and hold me. I need you to be able to be the one that comforts me, that when I don't feel safe, I need to make sure when I curl up in your arms, I feel safe. I can go to work and pay my bills. I I can buy me a handbag. I can buy me the shoes that I want. Don't matter. But if I can't crawl up in your arms and feel safe, your bill paying don't even matter. Because see, you could pay my bills and cuss me out. See, you can pay my bills and abuse me mentally. You can pay my bills and I don't feel comfortable around in your presence. So away with all that, the fact that you could pay bills. That does not mean nothing if you cannot make a person feel safe. And that's on both sides. If I'm going to feel safe as a female, and then the men have to know that they can trust you. So it ain't enough that you can lay up with him every day. You can twirl up and put your legs behind your head. If he can't trust you, you just going to be something he can bump up in.
Y'all thought it was me Sunday. See that? I told you.
I'm just saying. I'm just being real. You got to look at it. You tell me to close. Okay. I'm just saying, you got to understand that. You got to understand that you have to have some substance behind being a wife if you want to be. It's more than just that. It's more than that. He could go get that from any person. He can pay for it if he want to. Yeah.
I didn't eat at all today. I kind of fasted.
I'm just
a little
trying to
bit for
help
this.
y'all.
She ate something because she.
I'm just trying to help y'all. I'm serious, because I'm over the women who think that that's so much. We live, so I can't say much to the world. But I'm just saying,
I don't understand. That's why we went live.
I'm just saying, you got to get the mindset out that is going to keep him. You need to have some substance. And if he cannot trust you, I don't care how well you can put him to sleep at night. Now, you can read between the lines. I don't care how well you can make him go to bed at night. I don't care how good he sleep after you finish. If he cannot trust you.
If he get up looking for his wallet.
Or in the midnight hour, he got to sleep with one eye open because you searching through his phone.
I don't want to go through your phone.
It's just the little things that you have to learn how to trust. Put yourself aside and learn that he needs to be able to trust you, and you must feel safe.
That's Bible.
If those two things are not in there, you can just hang it up. You got to
Proverbs
redefine what you think love
Proverbs
is.
31.
Yes.
Said
Yes.
his heart does safely trust in her.
Absolutely.
Which means he trusts her to handle everything. He go out,
Absolutely.
she handle the business of the house.
Yes. Yes.
Find out who in the house is better at the business and let them handle the business of the house. Somebody say define love
Define love
or redefine it.
or redefine.
If you define love by your past relationships, you need to redefine it.
Oh, God, definitely.
You need to redefine it. Yeah, Tonita. Look at here now, mother. Look at here now, Tonita. Number three. You want to give it to him?
Check your motive for what you are asking for someone else
To do. Whatever you ask them to do, check your motive. Why are you asking them to do it? Please don't tell me because my last boyfriend did not. Don't even say it. Just be smart enough to say this is what I've always wanted and I've never had it. Please do not go on a first date talking about your last three. All the single folks should have said amen. That's why you're single now, because you don't want to hear nobody think you. I already know. No, you're not. No, you don't. No, you don't. Nobody want to be single.
No.
You be lying. I don't need no man. You lying. You lying. These people complain about it. Check your motive as to why you're asking someone else to do something or to be something. Check your motive. Check your motive. Number 4. You ready for that one? I'm going to give it to you. Are you willing to sacrifice to get to the point together? That could go a whole bunch of ways right here. Are you willing to sacrifice to get to the point together? If you're married, dating, or whatever it is, if you're married, are you willing to sacrifice so that we can get to a point together?
Yeah.
That could be, a bunch of conversations right there.
Yeah.
Ooh, are you willing to sacrifice? So we can get to the point together. Thank you. I heard somebody say no. Watch this. If your answer is no, you are manipulating to get what you want. If you're not willing to sacrifice and you stay in, you manipulating. You after something.
Yeah.
If you're not there for we, you after that for me. Which means you are manipulating to get what you want.
Yeah.
Because real love gives. Real love doesn't steal.
Yeah.
We going somewhere? You want?
When we got here to Greater Truth, and I know that I heard from God for what God had told me that I was marrying him for who he was become. And when he came here and his father was pastoring, and they told him that they were going to give him some money, pay him to pastor.
No.
Well, not pay him to pastor, but give him his salary for however they were paying him. And they told me they was going to give him a raise for...
I made $500 a month.
No, that's what your dad made.
Right. And when he passed, they gave me
They said they was going to give him a raise.
Is that right, Mordecai?
And-
$600 a month, right? $600 a month.
Yes.
What scared me was that my cousin, she looked at me like, what? My cousin just got a new job.
Yes.
And she was at McDonald's. And our first anniversary, I got a picture of her hugging me.
Yes.
And the picture of me hugging me, tears rolling down my face. Because I'm crying because I can't believe that she gave me like $1,200
I think it was...
for our first anniversary. That was the first kind of big giving.
Yeah.
And that $1,200 paid 3 car notes and my car insurance, right?
No, you had just got your Benz.
I got my new Benz, okay. It wasn't new, it was new
It
to
was
me.
used, yeah.
New to me.
Yeah.
Hyundai Benz, that's a move, praise God. That's I was in faith right then. And so she gave me the money, and I was crying. I was like, man, it's amazing. Then I realized she got a new job at McDonald's, and she made more money than me. Because mind you got to get it. $600 a month divided by 2 is $300 bi-weekly, is $150 a week. That's, so for, come close. So for all you pastors be looking at me now, that's how I started.
Yeah.
At $150 a week. And my tithes was more than that.
Yeah.
I worked at Dow Chemical and then went to Allstate and set up with Hudson Slun. Our tithes was more than that. So for all people think, he just be, you wasn't here.
You wasn't there.
You wasn't here when we, $600 a month. But here's the blessing though. Y'all been where I live? Raquel was. You know where I live, watch? I lived on Kirby in the medical center.
Sure did.
We got approved for everything we wanted.
Everything.
Easier when I had a job making $600 a month.
Yep.
The minute we
Because I
got some
think
more money, it started getting hard.
Because
I
I
was like,
think
why it's getting hard?
it was because of the sacrifice that we were willing to make
You're number 4. The
together.
sacrifice.
We were willing to make this because we knew that the plan of God. I stood on what God had
She
said.
told me, and ask what I told her.
Oh, he was totally
Said-
against it.
Watch this. She said, the Lord told me to support you while you pastor the church. I told her, you lying.
He did.
I told her, I said, do you understand what folk, them church folk, not my church,
But-
them other church folk, what they gonna say if I leave my job? I went to
was
work
young,
and
too.
my
I think
manager
you
was
30.
26.
He was 26?
My manager's 26.
Your manager, yes.
And she walks in one day going on vacation and tells me, you need to quit this job and go pastor that little old church. Well, little old gets on my nerve anyway. People say, oh, I like that little old suit you got on. I can't stand little old. Little old bothers me. But she said, pastor that little old church. Well, they all knew because they all came to my dad's funeral. They saw my uncle's church, and they realized where I was, and somebody told me, it's a little small, sweet, blah, 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 blah. Pastor that little old church. Then she went on vacation. Watch this blessing. Then her boss comes. It's been years, and I tell on all of them now. Her boss comes and tells me, are you planning on leaving? I said, yeah, probably around Easter, around March, maybe April. And he says, if you go ahead and leave, we'll pay you the rest of the year. We'll pay you the rest of the year. What you mean? We're going to pay you the rest of the year. So you know me, I've got numbers. To December, he said, because technically she wasn't supposed to tell you that. It's illegal for her to tell you you should quit. And we'll give you that if you just don't sue. Well, I was such a Pentecostal child. Praise God, they're gonna pay me. Didn't know I could have sued. I heard it, but I was like, lawsuit, I'm gonna get cash money. Didn't know. The church didn't teach me nothing. I was like, I could have sued. And so she did that. And I said, honey, we're gonna work it out, we're gonna see. That thing worked out so well. Yeah. And the next year, the anniversary was well. We started, God just did it for real. And so I was waiting to finally get to a place where I could say, honey, we good. Because she did what God told her to do. And I was like, man, these folk finna eat me alive. These folk finna, but all my other friends, the blessing was, and some of them probably watching, and some of the people here know, 5 other pastors, all of them began to pastor full time. All their wives did hair, and all of them were pastoring their churches. So the people who would have talked couldn't talk because there was too many of us at the same time. But the ones who wanted to still did.
But I didn't care what people said.
I did.
I didn't, honestly, because I knew when I heard God. When I heard God, that
This was Eloise Law granddaughter. So they always thought like they got money, these are the laws. Her grandmother was a state mother for 42 years. So it was like, he got her, now he finna stop working. Nobody, man, this messed up. Church folk don't hear God unless God talk to them.
well, of course.
No, they didn't get that. They didn't say nothing. Old days, church folk don't hear God unless God's talking to them. When you say, God told me to support my husband, God ain't said that. God ain't said that. Now, most of them are saying, oh, my God. I said, which one? Because it wasn't the one. They literally told us walking into church. We go in church. Can we stand up? Can we stand up? Can we stand up? Okay, stand up. This is how we walk in church every convention, every night, every day. This is our stance. It's normal. And they said, they ain't that much in love. They say, you come to the pulpit? I said, nah, I'm fine. Then once we got some money, and they heard I gave some money, I come in, I said, I'm going to sit with my wife. And then what makes it bad? Sit down, we're going to talk. It's relationship, right? I'm sorry. Relationship. So now all the pastors' wives sitting on this side of the church. And all the preachers are sitting on this side of the church. They all mad because they bring us up front for her grandmother night, and we sitting like this. And now their wives are all mad because their husbands sitting over there. Then they come to our church, and we in a little bitty building, and we on stage together. So now their wives are mad with them because of the relationship they have not established. And so here we come, the little young kids, showing them up out of a little suite with a garbage can and a dog tearing the trash up every Sunday morning. Same dog. We never could catch him, though. He would tear up the trash. He would eat the food from the salon next door. They'd leave the trash, and then Sunday morning, I'm out there sweeping. And people drive. You don't understand how that is. People driving by blowing, bump, bump. How y'all doing? And I know the church people. I know people on this street. They bump, bump, and I'm out there in my shirt. I took off my shirt. I'm sweeping the parking lot. So when people come, they would not see the trash on the parking lot. And then God told me, just keep sweeping. I got frustrated one time, and God said, don't get frustrated. So I kept sweeping. The last time, Mother Cow know, when I got frustrated, they called and said, we want the sweep back. I called, I said, Mother, I'm frustrated again. She said, why? I said, I don't know. They called and said, we want the sweep back. The day they said they wanted the sweep back, we had got a call about this property. I said, Mother, they can have it. Y'all ready to go? And we moved down here on a Wednesday night. We got pictures. We loaded up everything from down the street and put everything in trucks and cars. We didn't get no U-Haul. In the back of our trucks and cars, Brother Nelson, Sister Nelson, Brother Sal, we packed up everything and moved to a building that was next door because we believed that God was going to do what he said he was going to do. And we kept this picture of a blue building. Blue inside, blue outside. Ain't that blue now? But brown. But we kept the picture, and God brought us to a place because of our relationship with each other and in other people. Because we were willing to sacrifice. Goes back to anniversaries. We had our last anniversary. It was a cruise. Was you here, Deja? Oh, you weren't here. Who was here for the cruise? Archery, Mother Kyle. Nah. We took a cruise. The church paid for it. It was $150 a person. I think y'all only paid $50, right?
I think so.
The church paid $100. We had a boat that seats 150 people. We took everybody out. We paid for the food, the music. We parlayed into pictures. You would have thought we were the Rockefellers. We thought we were somebody. We on the end of the boat like this. And that was our anniversary service. That was our last anniversary. I said, y'all, I would not take an anniversary again until the church is well. But we stopped taking anniversary Sunday. We stopped raising money for the past anniversary. I got on salary and I just stayed. And that's how God blessed us. So those years of sacrifice from year 5 to year, where we are now, 21? 22? This is your dad died 20. Dad died 98. Now, Dad died 2000, right? 2001. So we're in 2020. So this is year 21. So we have not had an anniversary for 15 years. So now God says, I got to pay you for that. Y'all missing the sacrifice. All the other pastors who went in and took all the money out of the church from the pastor's aid, the choir raised money, the women raised money, the children car wash raised money. Y'all didn't do that. You took a salary and you stuck with it. And so God said, I got to bless you now for that. And that's what you see happening now. All because all the married folk get this sacrifice. It pays off in Jesus' name. You want to finish that? You just have to know that your sacrifice has to be intentional. You have to sacrifice with purpose and with understanding. That way your expectations can never be disappointed. When you give it a purpose why you're doing what you're doing, no matter how long it takes God, know that you've already sown the seed for it. So when you know what you're sacrificing for, it gives meaning to your struggle. I'll say it again. When you know what you're sacrificing for, that's somebody on Facebook. When you know what you're sacrificing for, it gives meaning to your struggle. It makes you stick the struggle out because you know if I hang in here, I got something afterwards. It's when you don't see no meaning that the struggle becomes not worth it. So I want to encourage somebody, stick it out. God's got something for you. Find a way, pray your way through. Find a way to do what it is you have to do so God can get the glory out of your life and your relationships. Last and final words for Facebook. We got to go.
I just know the sacrifice is real. And even though...
That's the bump it on here, $600. Yeah, he was here. He was the trustee. My trustees thought they was balling. Your
He
daddy
was.
got 5. We're going to give you 6. I was happy though. I got 6. Praise God. Yeah, I was happy. It was
They
funny,
all
though.
told him that we're going to have to give you more money. You have a wife and a family. And so we was like, oh.
My mama on here. I ain't say
okay.
nothing about you, mama.
And when
Nothing. I ain't call your name.
when they
That's
told
an
him, he said,
inside
we
joke.
gonna raise them up from 500 to 600. I said, well,
Big Apostle came to me, I'm ready for the book. I can't tell this in the book.
I was like, all right, 600, we gonna roll with it. But you have to trust God is my main thing. You have to trust God that even though the struggle gets real, like he said, you have to know that there's purpose behind it. I didn't verbalize much of what during the time of sacrifice. I prayed more.
That's
And a
made me
lot
wor-
of times-
That made me worry though. I got it, baby. It's
that-
an apple. It's gonna go off.
A lot of times we verbalize it and we put our mouth on a situation that
But I needed communication, and she was like,
No, I'm not talking
fine."
about with
but
him.
you were like, I'm fine, honey.
yeah,
He-
yeah,
he-
because I
here's
be the
my
one to the
$600.
Lord. I be the
And
one
I'm
to the
going,
Lord about it.
I'm fine. I'm like, you what? You fine? I'm not even fine. How you
Yeah.
fine?
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what is the Lord doing.
Yeah,
$600. Come on, my car was my.
yeah. Because
was my car
but the
note.
thing,
Who gonna
right?
pay rent? What we doing?
It
God, what are we
was.
doing? I hate this church.
But
I don't want to go to this church.
but that's the point. That's the point I'm making with that is because we have to put pressure on our tongue not to speak against what it is we know
I
that
never
God
said
has
that.
said it.
I never
God
said it.
said what?
I hate this church.
No.
I thought it. I thought, man, if I made this much at Allstate, by now I would have been at this much. I'd have been, and here I am making what I make in overtime on a couple of days. What, God, what you doing? And God said, just stick it out. And here's the funny part. I was dumb enough to believe God.
Yep.
Why I
Yeah.
say dumb? Because if I had any ounce of ego or pride, I wouldn't have done it. I was already worried about what her family gonna say, what my mama gonna say, what everybody. Okay, I'm sorry, mama. What everybody was gonna say.
Yeah.
I was worried. I was like, I don't want.
But
I don't-
even in me knowing that what he thought about it, my prayer was always for him to be okay. I was good. It was more so because that's the male ego. So women, don't ever think that men will be okay with you just saying, oh, what the mindset of people are. Because of course we live in that day where people they will open their mouth. They don't mean it's true. They will open their mouth. At the end of the
the Holy
day,
Ghost.
you have to, in your prayer time, instead of when he comes to you and say, man, I don't want to hear all that. You have to know, well, look, why you tripping? Ain't nobody mad. Ain't nobody got to know our business. But that ain't what he's saying. you can't go to no, seriously, you can't go to that point about, well, I ain't worried about what people say because you ain't the one they talking about.
Yeah.
He's saying because from a standpoint, I am the husband. I'm supposed to be the one that holds it together. Well, guess what? When I get up, I don't care where I am, I'm going to make sure they know you hold it together. When you walk in, as the scripture say, you're going to be known well in the gates. So every funeral you walk into, yeah, your feet going to be shone with the preparation of the gospel. When you walk in, yes, you're going to have on the whole armor, and it's going to be tailor-made for Dexter Kyle. Because when you walk out, you represent who I am.
Oh,
Whether I'm with you on your arm or not.
my God.
So every time you walk into a building, they're going to know who you are. Not because you paying our bills at home, but because I'm making sure you know well in the gates. And your name shall be great amongst many. So every time you walk into a building, that was my prayer, that you don't let this temporary sacrifice damage your ego or damage your pride, because at the end of the day, you still the man of God of this house. So, and if we don't learn how to cultivate what it is that God was doing, we would damage the man with the same mouth that we speaking out of. In one mouth, you want to build him up. In the next mouth, you want to go into private on the phone with your homies and tell them how he ain't no good, man. I'm over here struggling. Well, why you getting up lying to the people? I called him my perfect husband when we were having hell in my house.
I thought she was trying to kill me.
No.
I say, she is setting this thing up so everybody can say,
I'm not.
it wasn't her that killed him
I'm
because
not.
she said he's a perfect husband. My perfect husband. And I was sleeping like this, Keith.
I promise you. Listen, I am
'Cause
not,
I know I
do
wasn't
not
perfect.
proclaim to be a prophetess. But when I hear from God, I know I hear from him. And when God told me, he said, that is your perfect husband. And from that point on, that's what you're going to be called. And every Sunday I got up. We might have been arguing on the way, but I got up because I knew that was my perfect husband. And I'm going to call him because the Bible says that we have life and death in the power of our tongues. And you can call some things that be not as though they were. And what you call it, it shall become. Y'all just got to put pressure on your tongue until it produces for you.
Stop putting pressure on the man.
Yes. He got enough pressures in the world.
Quiet.
So don't put the pressure on him. I told God, I'm going to put the pressure on who it's supposed to be. You told me to cast it, I'm casting it. I'm casting all of the care. And I'm going to make his load lighter.
And so what y'all are sitting in was the mouth closer. Y'all missed that. What y'all are sitting in was the mouth closer. In the building next door, we had some crazy church.
Yeah.
Y'all don't even know about that. We had church one night where we all switched musicians 4 times. Where we stayed in church where every preacher preached and every musician played something different. And we stayed in church until it was 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, and nobody left.
Yeah.
But that still wasn't enough for some folk. Because they thought that was a suite we were renting.
Yeah.
Remember that mother guy said, this is a nice suite. And I said, we own the property. They didn't know. So what God did is he waited until they all expended their resources. And then he gave us this. And this shut the mouths of the soothsayers. There wasn't nothing they could say. They couldn't say, how you, and then the bad part is, we didn't come in here empty. The first Sunday we came in on Thanksgiving, I'm thinking, we got, from that little bit of suite over here, we good. We gonna have one service. Every chair was packed, and we had kids all on the stage, and I wondered, where these folk come from? But we knew everybody. They just never came at one time. And I was like, God said, I'll never be put to shame. And because we stuck it out, now we thought we had already made it. Now we got the building. Praise God, we in here now. Woo! And God said, y'all ain't done nothing. Then this year, God started showing out. Now let me show you where I'm taking you to. Because of what you sacrificed. Sacrifice. And that's where we are. Any last words, honey?
I'm good.
I would let y'all ask questions, but I don't think online need to be ready for y'all questions. Y'all have any questions? Look at Donna Blunt right here. To my, oh my. Yeah. Y'all have any questions about what we just said? I'll take 2 questions about what we just said. After that, we go into the questions you have about you. And that'll be a private moment. Thank y'all so much, Facebook. We have so enjoyed you. Is there any question about what we just said? To get some clarity on something we said. Don't be afraid. We won't put you on the camera. We'll just ask the question for you. Yes, sir. What he's talking about is, they can't hear you because microphone. What's your question? What's your question? Yes, sir. Yeah. Tell me your question, because I can't repeat your question. What's your question? Or is it just a statement? We'll get the statement in a minute when we go offline. He'll communicate it. Hold on a second. Is there any question right quick? Real quick. Any question? No question? All minds are clear? We coming. Don't get no questions? No questions right now. Facebook, YouTube. It's been amazing. Okay, hold on. No questions. Somebody start talking. I knew it was going to happen. No questions on here? Facebook or YouTube? No question. I'll take 2 questions and we got to go. I already have my inbox questions. They're not for y'all. Oh, I have one. Here's the question. Out of all you just said, you ready, First Lady? How do you know when you're completely ready for marriage?
Oh, you want me to answer that?
I have a general wise to use. I'm going to answer, then you answer your way. You ready?
Okay.
My thing is when you find the opposite sex you. When I found the female me, the answer to me, not the person that's like me, the person that's the answer to me, which means I had to be honest about the problems of me. The person that had the answer for me, I knew that was who it was. I come home, and then you see the merging some days where you come home and you say, one day I came home, I said, hey, honey, I was driving home, I said, we're not cooking. I want to go to Papa's on 45. I want to go to Papa's. When I opened the door, I said, honey, you want to go to Papa's tonight? I was like, yeah, I'm just thinking about that. Mm-hmm. When that starts happening consistently, you know you're merging and becoming one. And you don't have to be married for that to happen. When you're dating somebody, you should be dating to find out if you can merge. If you can merge, fine. If you cannot merge, then stop trying to push that thing. Amen? You want to answer it your way? How do you know when you completely ready? I don't think nobody completely ready, but completely ready for marriage.
When you mature enough to be alone.
When you mature enough, you got to explain that because some folk
when you
don't understand the opposite of that.
Being alone and lonely is 2 different things. When you're mature enough to be by yourself, you're handling your credit by yourself, you have your savings account and it's good by yourself, your children, or if you have children or whatever, are doing well and you're handling things on your own and you're good with just being good. You taking yourself out to dinner.
So you're not looking for
you getting your bonus and you going yourself on a vacation. When you good and you having, you not looking to see when is he coming, Lord. You good with just being you and God by yourself. And then all of a sudden you collide with destiny. All of a sudden, and then you angry that it's your time to get married, because I was so enjoying me.
She was.
I was.
She was.
I was enjoying me.
She wanted
I
me,
did. It's a difference. It's a difference.
She wanted me.
It was. I did.
Yeah.
Because
Back
I was
then, you
so.
didn't want me. Now you hot. You was all on me.
I can't. When
For her mother passed, I asked her, hey, can we date? And she's like, looked at me like this.
He did.
So I left her for 2 years.
Yeah.
And when I came back, her and Tawanda car was sitting in church.
T don't agree. Just
Tawanda was
sit
sitting
there.
on this side, First Lady was on this side, and T was sitting like this in church. He back there. She didn't know she was my angel. She was working in.
She was the intercessor.
So he back there now. He back there right now. That's how she doing. He already here. He back there now. And I'm watching her. I'm saying, is that her? I said, I can't see her. She wouldn't move. She kept, I'm saying, I want to see you. Okay. And T just got to go on. So I said, man, that's okay. Forget y'all. Y'all playing games. I'm grown now. I ain't a kid no more.
Yeah.
I'm
but
after
I was
relationship.
I was okay with being by myself. I was okay. I was, I had my own place. I had my own car.
So did I.
Yes,
I had
he
2
did.
cars.
He, I was paying my own bills. So I was
Sure
happy.
did. I had
I
my own.
was getting ready to start going on a vacation or 2, with my work schedule. I'm good. And then all of a sudden, destiny walked in the door. Little did I know I just got saved.
Somebody asked the question, how
What
much
is-
sacrifice is too much sacrifice?
Oh, my.
When it's not met with compromise.
Yeah, that's good.
When your sacrifice stops being met with compromise. When the person stops meeting you at your sacrifice. Then you can't complain that you've given too much when they stop receiving anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Then the question is, why are you giving what you're giving? Now you're trying to keep them.
Yeah.
They ain't going to stay. That's when you find out how much sacrifice is too much sacrifice. When your sacrifice budget is empty and the person you're sacrificing for is not replenishing you. Look up here, Deja. Look up here. Look up here. You stare at the floor. Trying to hear me clearly? When your sacrifice budget, I'm not loud enough. When your sacrifice budget is empty and the person you're sacrificing for is not replenishing you. Because if you're sacrificing for me, I should be at least rubbing your feet saying, it's okay.
Yeah.
I know you're giving up for me, so I need you to be okay.
And I think his comeback to me was always, babe, I promise you, if you just stick with me. He said that so much that I was quoting it. Even in my prayer time, I said, God, he said it. Now help him to bring it to pass. It wasn't even about me. This is what I think when you have sacrifice. It don't even be about you. It's not about you in the situation. You're gonna get the benefit, but you gotta know it's not about you.
That's the difference in marriage in this day and that day. In that day, it was about us. In this day, it's not about you. If you have an ounce of ego or pride, your marriage will be shredded apart like shredded chicken on a polio truck.
It be good though, but it ain't. Y'all ain't had that shredded chicken.
Y'all laughing at me? Laughing at me? I'm saying, that chicken is grilled so long, it's just shredded. It looks like somebody raked it off the thing. If you got in this day and time, because that for every man there's probably 12 women, and for every woman there's still 4 men after you. Let's not include the same sex. They after you. That was it. Let's go home then. Literally, you have so much pressure. If you're not willing to tie into the person all the way and link up, you can't afford to have times where you go, I just need some space. Space will kill you in this day. See how quiet it got? Space will mess you up. You can't afford that. You need to go all the way in or not at all. It ain't gonna work. Not in this day and time. The sacrifice is real. That was another question you saw? You see one? Okay, somebody say they're speaking 1,000% truth right now. Bless you, April Galvin. Somebody say the polo truck. Yeah, that thing mess you up. Okay, we gotta let y'all go because there's some more questions in here that people want to ask. You found one? It just popped in. How impactful, sir, you gotta type complete sentences. This is confusing to me. We should not be falling in love with children. I know, I was just being funny because I know he's trying to type fast.
Oh.
How impactful is love as child?
As a child.
That's not, I didn't say as a child.
Oh.
See, you're trying to insert that.
Yeah.
He's a theologian. He knows how to put that in there right. Retype it again, sir. We'll wait for 30 seconds. Because I got a feeling. You have questions now? Raise your hand. You have a question? I have one question right there. One question right there. Got one question right there? Question right there. Keep it on this shot. I don't want everybody to see them coming up. Go ahead and bring your questions. Drop them in. Come on. Drop it in. They can just see it. Boom. She's going to put her hand. See, we ain't see who you was. That's sitting right there, I'm telling you. That's my barber. That's my barber. Need a pen? Need a pen. Okay. That's my barber. Okay. Sydney. Solomon, come again. I don't see it. I don't see it. Yes, sir. Put it in there. That's my trainer. As of today, he sent me a thing. I said, what? I don't see it. He said, what is this? I said, what is this? I asked you for 5 things to do. He got a whole spreadsheet. I said, he lost his mind. How impactful is the love from parents? What he's trying to say, I guess, is how does the love of a parent affect the adult in marriage? Got it. That's a good one. It's very important. Okay, do I be pastor or do I be prophet? Both. Okay. first half, it's very impactful because you learn how to give, you learn how to love, you learn how to be intimate, you learn how to respond, you learn how to talk, you learn how to respect a person. You don't respect a woman based on how your father treated her, or you learn how to respect or how not to respect based on if your mom was whipping your daddy. You learn those things from your mother. But in this day and time, it's funny how we can learn everything else quickly, but we can't reprogram what we learned as a kid. So we no longer have that excuse, because if I learned something that I know did not work well, and my dad didn't treat my mama right, that's not me, but if he didn't treat my mama right and they got into it and they fought all the time, then my relationship should be based on what I know I do not want. It should not become now, I should not become a replica of what I don't want. I should become a poster child for what it should be and be better.
And that is 100% right, because my home was broken, so I didn't have an example of marriage in my home. My dad was an alcoholic, so my example of marriage was we'd come home and he'd be sleeping drunk.
Come on.
He sleep and drunk on the sofa, and then my mom was forced basically to walk away from him, even though she loved him. So we knew what love felt like, and what we saw that their commitment to each other. But we saw also that his addiction or his habit caused us to be apart. So instead of him being a absent father because of his addiction, he became a present father, but just not in the home. So we still watched him exemplify the love and the don't want and the desire of a mother, and then was still a great father. But it was broken. So I didn't know what marriage looked like per se. So we had to put in front of us what marriage looked like. Then when you grow up in different churches, you see the pastor go one way in his car, the wife go another way in his car. That's still not a good example of marriage. So even though I may not have had the example or the impactfulness that I would want to have as a child to see growing up in a family, I had to find a living example in my life where I'm going. So if even though you might not have it, to Elder Solomon who asked the question, even though a person may not have it as a child, then you need to find the examples of what it is that you want to see. And if that's what you want to see, and most of the time you're willing to be transparent, as our spiritual parents are willing to be transparent with their life, then we started using that as an example. So what we did not get a chance to see, we can actually see it now. So to me, I'm with the prophet when he said there is still no excuse for you not to have what it is you need, because in this day we have a spiritual parent. So if you don't have a natural family, then guess what? You can look at the example through a spiritual family and still get the grace flow if you line up in that manner.
And our spiritual father did not play with us.
No.
When we had these thing y'all went to this week, it was nice. We didn't have it like that. It was called First Family. And in the morning, our session was at 9. Mm-hmm. And we would be in there and he'd be going off. Yeah. Like some of y'all didn't hear, blah, blah, blah. We'd be like, what the Jesus? And if it ain't you, just smile. So we had to fake smile at 9 in the morning. But the example he put before us, it wasn't just the example. It was the results of the example that gave you no way out. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't have no way out. I'm watching this man live a whole faith life. Yes. I'm talking about, like, his theme was he buy helicopters by day, jets by night, and Bentleys for lunch. Who don't want that? Yeah. But you got to do the work. And I'm like, is it worth it? Yeah, it's worth it. But we don't think it is, because we want everything right now. And so, yeah. Somebody says, even if you didn't have it, be willing to learn it. That's amazing, Erica Evans. Thank you so very much. We got questions here. You want to keep going online? Okay. One of them is very good. Elaborate on blended families. That's a good one. Yeah. Blended families is what it is. It's blended.
It's just, I mean, what else you want it to be? It's blended.
Blended. It can be a very, 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 very problematic situation, especially if both parents are not in church and one parent is very egotistical or prideful and want their child raised a certain way while you're trying to raise a child a different way, all that kind of stuff. But as far as just a blended family and you're married and the two families are living together, it's a family. It's a blended family.
And my thing is, when you blend a family, don't try to run what that person doing at their house. That ain't got nothing to do with you. Do what you do at your house.
Use your mic.
That's your house. You don't want no one coming in running your house. So stop trying to run that other person's house. When they go home, that's what they do. When they come here, this is what they do. And we're going to be in agreement. We're going to be in agreement. So anything that come in across that thresh, we're going to be in agreement. So if we are in agreement that this is what he gets a spanking, she gets a spanking, whatever the case may be, this is what goes on in our house. And this is the requirements. This is the word they use, the prerequisites. This is the culture of our house. Our house, we get up, we go to church every Sunday. If you don't, you gonna have your clothes. This is what we do. We're not coming here trying to figure out, well, we're gonna let her go stay with my grandma, my granny today. No, we're not doing that. We go to church. This house goes to church on Sunday. We go to Bible study on Wednesday. This is what we do.
So you answered it. Somebody said it could be difficult according to the age of the children of what's been put in their head. Here's the deal. Now you woke me up. Here's the deal. I don't care what you put in their head. At my house, you're going to abide by my rules, or we're going to have a problem. You won't be at my house.
Absolutely.
I don't care how your mama said it, how your daddy said it. At my house, when kids come to my house now, I tell the parents, you don't like how I'm going to do it, y'all all can leave.
You could leave and take your children with you.
Because the rules I set in my house is my house.
That's it.
So it doesn't matter how old they are.
Exactly.
We got to stop giving children excuses. I read an email a while ago to them in the office. A woman goes to the hospital today because a 5-year-old knocked her unconscious on the floor.
5.
In school.
Yep.
Now, I can't answer it because we on live.
Yep.
But I wish a child would.
Yeah. 5.
5 years old.
5 years old.
When they came, she was on the floor unconscious.
Yep.
5-year-old.
Yep. 5.
If a 25-year-old came into my house and read up black bag.
Yep.
I'm not referring to a Coach or Gucci. You will have a zip on it, but no emblems.
We have to stop giving the kids that type of option to where they start running our houses, and what they end up doing is playing you against the mama on the outside and then tearing up your household when you right there. And they're only 5 and 6 years old. No, we're not doing it. Our family is blended. We're going to have an understanding before we walk.
In the name of love.
And we're going to stop doing that before we walk down the aisleway.
I love my child. I don't want the world to get them. You're giving them the world.
Yeah.
Because you are not being a parent. So if you're not being a parent, they're getting the best of the world.
Yep. And you have to love them just as you would your own child, is the way I see it. If you marry, someone and they already married, and I mean they already have children, and you inviting them in there.
4 things. What is it?
Children.
Children, how you handle children, how you want to raise children, how do you deal with your children, how we discipline our house children.
Yep.
Next thing,
finance.
It's family, and then finance. Is our money together? If your money ain't together, you ain't married.
Yep.
If your money ain't together, you ain't married. You still have division in your own house. You're causing it in your own house.
Yep.
How can God bless both of y'all when your money is separate?
Yep.
He got to do a split the check on the TGI Friday table. Split the check. He got to send half to you and send half over there. Nah, go ahead, Doc. Right there. Yeah, you got to do that. No, he ain't gonna do that.
Happen. Nope.
It's not economically feasible to be in disagreement.
It sure is not.
When God want to bless, He want to bless. Take that off of that so nobody knows the show. Okay. Yep. We got to let y'all go, Facebook. We stirring up something here. We got something stirring in the pot. And so we appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for everything. It's been amazing tonight. We'll see you again possibly next month. Somebody said yes? Next month we may be online every other month. We'll do a live every other month and then be on live. How would y'all prefer? Let's vote real quick. Would y'all prefer live, online? If you say online, it'll be every other month. If you say live, we'll keep it live. We'll keep coming here once a month to get this thing straight and get your marriages right and get y'all set up with the same grace that flows on your pastor's life can flow on your life.
Yes.
I mean, everything that happens to us should be happening to you. Then he ain't got to email me. We just answered that. How do you blend a family and all parties are in? You can't blend up fruit that's not inside the blender. Oh. Meaning while in the house, it's one thing, then elsewhere, it's totally different. I just said, I don't care what happens outside your house. When it's in your house, you turn that blender on. You blend with your own rules. These kids are going to learn to multitask. You're going to do that. Oh, when I grew up, my dad used to do things to spite my mom. Sorry, Mom. I couldn't help it. I would say, well, Mom, tell me to go to bed at 9 o'clock. He said, oh, stay up and watch TV with me. My mom said I can't watch that kind of, the Cowboys or whatever. My mom, whatever I said, she said I couldn't do. He said, oh, you all right. Then when I go home, you know, I said, man, I want to live with my daddy. I hate being here. She said, well, you here and he gone. I'm like, wait a minute. If you keep talking, my mom was short. I'm going to get up on that chair. What? I want my daddy, man. I want my daddy. She said, he ain't here. He don't want you. I'm like, what the world going on? But I had to come back. I had to detox every weekend. Come back home. I can't eat cookies and ice cream all night. I got to do it. So I learned that wave. I go to my daddy's house. I do this. Go to my mama's house. I do that. I go to my daddy's house. I learned. They taught me well. I learned relationships from them. You're going to learn how to treat people differently based on how they treat you. She would tell me, try me if you want to. I'd be like, Mom, he let me stay. My dad let me stay up. I don't care what your daddy do. In this house, we will serve the Lord. Praise God. Amen. Hope that answered your question. We got to let y'all go. We got questions. We got to go. We got questions. We want to get their real answers and get them home. What time is it? 8:26. Yeah, you need relationship issues. Come on. So, bye-bye. See y'all later. Wave, honey. Say bye. Say bye. Bye.